Hello and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part. Today we're going to be doing a small bathroom makeover. This is actually our powder bathroom or guest bathroom, whatever you want to call it. It's a small bathroom. We need to work on it. As you can see, it's fine. It's just kind of blah. There's nothing to it. It's a lot of whites and creams and gold, and we wanted to make it a little bit moody. I keep hearing that term from Mama from Scratch, and I just love it. So anytime she adds black, she calls it moody. So we're gonna moodify this bathroom, if that's a word. I'm gonna just kind of show you some of the items I have picked up along the way that we're gonna put into the bathroom. So with all this said and done, we spent $100 even before tax, so there is some change in there, to update this bathroom. So it does not take much to take something from blah to like bam, and I'm gonna show you how to do it today. So let me finish showing you all the pieces I bought, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you're new here, go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below. Turn on all notifications so YouTube will let you know every time I post, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to link as many products as I can down below my description box. A lot of these are from like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Ross. I can't really link from there. I also shopped my house, so some of these pieces I've had for a while. And then one piece I got from Rebecca over from Ken Woven, her designer sale she had at her house. I'm gonna be using that as well in this project. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We are gonna be painting a wall, but that's it. We're not doing anything fancy. We're not adding any trim or anything. I wanted to show you guys, even if you don't have it in you to like cut things and add wood, you can literally just paint a wall and it's gonna look so much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep the wall. I had hung a sign up in here before, so I had some holes. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these, and then we will get started painting. Before decorating a space, especially if you're going to be painting, it's really smart to go ahead and clear everything out. It obviously didn't take me long because there wasn't much in here. You can see right here, like the after clip after I finished like undecorating it, pretty much looks like the before clip just because there wasn't a lot in there. Now I'm going to show you the paint we're using. You can use any paint color you want. This is where you get to just dream up what your favorite color is, what would look best. We're gonna use black because we have a lot left over from Chase's office wall that we did, so it's just cheap for us to use something we have. And the first thing we're gonna do is tape off. Definitely always tape off. This is a step you want to skip, you don't want to do, but it's totally worth it, and the end product's going to look so much better. So always remember to tape off. If you're wondering what the boys were doing during this project, you can see them right here. Tiger is watching us and George is passed out asleep in the hallway. But if you guys missed my last video, I wanted to show that we painted our kitchen island. We did some redecorating. So if you're not caught up, definitely go watch my last video if you want to see how we got this result. It looks so much better, but then I realized our powder room was just boring and it didn't match, so I wanted to tie this kind of look with a little bit of glam, a little more glam, into the powder room because it's super close right here. It's like connected by a hallway. So Chase is gonna finish up taping, we're gonna pour the paint, and then we're gonna get started. This is a pretty cool tool for painting, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of trim work. I still suggest taping. It kind of gives you just another backup, but this is really nice for just going around when you're trimming off the paint, and then you can roll afterwards. And you can replace the like brush part on this, so when you're done, you just throw it away, but you keep the red plastic piece. So if you don't have this, it's super affordable, and you can watch Chase use it. It is so simple. It's actually super satisfying. So I put a lot of these clips in here just because I love watching him do it. So I first found out about this tool when I was in college, and I lived with a friend in her house, and she gave it to me to use for trim work. I'm not gonna lie, I painted my entire room with that thing. It is so satisfying and so smooth. I mean, it took me a little bit longer, but that piece has been around for a long time, and I was always so thankful she shared it with me because we use it in a lot of our projects now. Painting within itself is not bad. I think the hardest part is getting motivated to tackle a project. Then I think the next step is getting the taping done and the trim work. And then after that, it's pretty much all downhill. It is super easy to roll paint on. This paint that we currently are using and that I showed is a 1-coat paint. So I only have to roll it one time. Now, if you get a little bit of a cheaper paint, you may have to do 2 or 3 coats, but it's really not that bad. This project really only took a couple of hours. We had to stop to like drive into town to pick up my car because it was getting an oil change. But other than that, it was a really quick, easy project to do. You can do it in a few hours on the weekend, and it's just huge, the transformation that it can make. So don't think you have to get fancy and do a whole accent wall and add wood and trim or wallpaper. Sometimes just some paint will go a really long way. I thought the hardest part was going to be painting next to the toilet, but my roller actually fit perfect there, so it wasn't bad at all. Okay guys, it's looking so good. It's still wet, so I'll show you later. Let me let my camera focus. I've never seen anything like this, but no matter how many times I paint this spot, it keeps turning back white. I have no idea what's going on. I'll like paint it and it'll turn black, and then a few seconds later, it's white again. Okay, I'm gonna try this tool instead. I don't know if it just has something to do with the brush, but like I'll go over it and paint it and then it just like turns back white again. But we'll see what it does this time, if I can get it to stay or not. Okay, so that worked this time. It actually kept it black. That was so weird. I'd never seen anything like that before. But here it is. I'm gonna let it dry because it's super shiny right now, and we actually got flat paint for Chase's office, and that's what we're using just to kind of do something different. So I'm curious to see what it looks like once it dries. And then we will start decorating everything. But I think it already looks so much better. This was just such a plain and boring room. So while the paint is drying, that's when I like to do a little speed clean. Anything that I can put up, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Projects can be kind of overwhelming because they make a big mess even if you're doing a small space. And I can't do anything else in the space anyways because the paint's drying. So go ahead and pick up, so when you are finished at the end, you don't have like a ton to do. And I just think it helps speed up the process. But now I'm gonna work on my soap dispenser and lotion dispenser. If you guys saw my shop with me at Rebecca's house, I bought this from her and I love it. I saw the black and gold and I wanted it when I saw it on her Instagram stories, and I'm so glad I was there early to grab it. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. I'm gonna get the stickers off, and then I'm gonna use the bottles that I had in there originally, like the soap and lotion, just to refill those bottles so I'm not wasting any product. And I'm really excited to get those pink out. It was fine for spring, but it's definitely not gonna match the room now. So as you can see, I'm just taking that soap and dumping it in. Okay, someone please tell me there's a trick to getting the lotion inside this bottle. I did change it up here in a second and try a different lotion, but all around it was super hard. It's like lotion wants to stay at the top and you have to keep poking it in to get it all the way to the bottom. Is there a trick? If so, let me know down below in the comment section so I know when it's time to refill it. Now I'm having Chase take down all the tape. It's just easier for him because he's taller and it's really hard to get like a ladder in this space because it's pretty tight. I think it's best to take off tape when it's still damp. Otherwise, if it dries, sometimes you run the risk of like pulling on the tape and it pulls off the paint with it. So if you have time and you're not leaving and you have time to get that paint off, definitely do it because it will save you some hiccups along the way. Now we get to move on to the decorating portion of this video. That's always my favorite part. I feel like I'm always just ready to get the painting over with and the tape off, and I want it to dry real quickly just because all I want to do is decorate. To me, that is so fun and so rewarding. So this little guy I picked up for $6. It was clearance at TJ Maxx. I know everybody's into these like salt lamps, and I thought it was so cool that we could stick it in this bathroom just for a little mood lighting. You know, we're back to that word mood again. And then we also picked up this really glam shelf. This piece is actually what kicked off this whole project. We were in Ross. It was about $25. Chase and I both saw it and knew we had to put it somewhere in our house. And I thought, okay, I know the perfect wall for it. And that's when we decided to paint the wall black because we thought it would be such a pretty contrast. So he's gonna get that hung so you can see what it looks like. We were out shopping on this particular day and I was trying to find a sign for above the toilet, and I loved the size and the shape of this. It was really tall and I thought it would fit the space well. Plus, I wanted to put a little rustic in here so it didn't get too glammy. I want it to be glam, I want it to be moody, I want it to have some modern farmhouse. So I felt like between the black and then the gold mirror and this rustic farmhouse sign, it was really gonna just pull everything together and make it work. But I am gonna grab my jaws cleaner real fast. Anytime you're done hanging a mirror, it's always dirty. Plus, it was pretty dusty from the store and it's been sitting in Chase's closet for a few weeks now. I've been dying to get this project done, but we've been so busy, so I'm so glad we finally got to complete it. Once again, if you guys are needing that code, this is not sponsored, but you can use Ashley25 at checkout anytime you're shopping at Jaws. I had to be super careful when I was shopping for pieces for the shelf because it's super narrow and I don't want something that can break. So if this does get bumped when someone's in here, I don't want to worry about something like shattering or feeling bad. So none of this is glass, none of this is gonna break. And then the bottles are just like a nice visual, so if somebody needs those, they're not like digging around in the cabinet. So it's just super nice to have those there. And I picked both of those up from TJ Maxx. In a small space like this, it really doesn't take much to make a big impact, but always remember when you're shopping and buying decorating pieces for a space, it's almost best to overbuy and then you can just return it when you're finished. Then you have a few options if you don't like a piece or it doesn't work well in the space like you thought it would, or you didn't buy enough pieces and then you're having to like stop in the project and go pick something out. I just feel like it's best to get as many pieces that you think will work in the space, then buy a few extra so you just can kind of play around with it. And then when you're finished, you can head straight to the store and return it so you get your money back. Say you didn't end up having enough, my next little tip is always to shop your home. So go through your home. I didn't like the plant I had up here. I had this plant in my kitchen. It had been in my daughter's room and I just rearranged it and it worked out really well. This is all the pieces that I had bought for this project that I didn't end up needing. So I can return all of this and get my money back, but it was nice to have it just in case I needed it. And just a friendly reminder, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. If we could all live by this quote, man, what a different world we would be growing up in and our children would be growing up in. So just remember that when you're going through your journey in life, just be kind. We don't know what anybody else is going through, so just always be kind. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gets you inspired, and I hope it just shows you that you don't have to spend a lot of money to create beautiful spaces in your home. So like I said before, if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and join my family here. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.